I'm Rachel, and I never believed in cursed tapes, at least, not until last night. It started innocently enough. I was digging through a box of old VHS tapes at a garage sale on my way home, fingers dusted with the grime of decades. That's when I found it, a battered Monster High episode I'd never seen before, its label smeared and almost illegible. Something about the cartoonish skull logo made my skin crawl. I brushed it off, thinking nostalgia was playing tricks on me. When I got home, a note was waiting for me, taped crookedly to the door. Brandon, my boyfriend, had scrawled in his usual hurried script that he'd taken Goddard, our odd, clanking robot dog, for a walk. Goddard is a story in himself. Brandon brought him back from some wild crossover adventure in Jimmy Neutron's world, after he'd supposedly killed Jimmy and torched that haunted episode everyone whispered about on forums. Brandon's always been drawn to the weird and impossible, like a moth to a ghostly, flickering flame. I dumped my bag by the couch, the day's weight sliding from my shoulders as I slotted the tape into the old VCR. Grainy static fizzled across the screen. At first, it was just Monster High, Frankie, Claudine, Draculaura, all strutting through the Technicolor halls. But the colors were wrong, too sharp, almost fluorescent, buzzing at the edges like they were trying to burn through the glass. The characters' faces were off, too, as if someone had tried to redraw them from memory but got the features twisted. Then came the laugh. Draculaura's giggle, usually sweet and lilting, cracked open, her jaw dropped further and further, grotesquely unhinging until it seemed she'd swallow the whole frame. The picture froze. I sat, hard hammering, as the screen went black and a wall of static hissed, the sound of 1,000 angry bees. When the episode returned, everything was wrong. Draculaura's eyes were empty, deep sockets oozing thick, tar-black sludge. The canned laughter warped, melting into wet, bubbling gargles that made me want to cover my ears. The sense of being watched prickled along my skin, cold and intimate. I realized, with sick certainty, that the show was looking back at me. That's when Laguna's corpse appeared, bloated, skin slick and waterlogged, pressing up against the inside of the glass. Her mouth barely moved, but I heard her whisper, "You left us here." The words echoed, not just in my ears, but in the hollow spaces behind my eyes. I tried to move, to turn the TV off, but I was frozen, trapped by the gaze of a dozen monstrous eyes. Something slipped from the VHS case and landed on the carpet. I forced my hand to pick it up, a scrap of notebook paper, smudged with ink. "Don't blink. Don't answer. Don't let them out," it read, the letters jagged, as if written in a shaking hand. I glanced at the TV. My reflection stared back from the black glass, eyes wide, unblinking. Suddenly, memory surged, my childhood best friend, gone without a trace one summer. She'd always whispered that Monster High characters visited her at night, standing at the end of her bed, beckoning her closer. The last drawing she ever gave me flashed in my mind, monsters, their faces melting into darkness, reaching out with claws and empty eyes. I hadn't thought about her in years. Now, I wondered if she'd left me a warning. My apartment began to unravel. The wallpaper curled away, revealing a network of pulsing, red veins crawling beneath, throbbing like some buried, monstrous heart. My cat darted past, yowling, but the sound came out glitched and stuttering, as if warped by digital static. I lunged for the TV's plug, but when my fingers touched it, they pixelated, breaking apart into jagged blocks that floated through the air. The tape needed something, it hungered. A voice whispered, soft and insistent, "Give us new eyes." My reflection's pupils stretched into endless black voids, and its hands, no, my hands, pressed against the inside of the screen, fingertips stained with oily shadow. I knew what it wanted. The only way out was to let something else take my place behind the glass. I screamed. The sound twisted, blending with the episode's warped, gurgling audio, echoing in the static. My vision narrowed as the darkness in my eyes spread, swallowing everything. The screen flickered, then rolled credits. There it was, in white, glitching text, Rachel Walsh, the new girlfriend. Hours later, though it could have been minutes or years, Brandon finally came home, Goddard's metal paws clicking on the floor. The TV was still on, the room cold and silent. He called my name, but the only answer was his own pale face reflected in the screen. Then, in the flickering light, he saw me, my face, stretched and smiling, waving from inside the cartoon world. He staggered back, breath caught in his throat. The thought flashed through his mind: if the Monster High monsters could break through, if SpongeBob's evil could infect Jimmy Neutron's world, what else was waiting behind the static? Brandon reached for the remote, but his hands trembled. Somewhere, Goddard whined, his digital voice crackling with fear. The TV screen shimmered, and another episode began to play, one Brandon had never seen before.